Good morning and welcome into SimWorld today on this Friday morning. I am Marsh, joined by Rick Blaze in a pre-Stars of Tomorrow Friday. Good morning, Rick. Welcome in.
Hey man, it's Friday. You ain't got no job and you ain't got it to do. Listen to the show and then get ready for the start of tomorrow on tomorrow.
I thought at first, Rick, you were saying I don't have a job. Let me tell you, I got a job. It's right here. It's this morning. I take this job very seriously. But yeah, if you're listening to this at 8 a.m., you got nothing better to do. Let's just be honest, even if you are at a job. Let's start with the SWBA round two, where what 30 more guys got jobs yesterday. The big storyline, which regrettably so, I feel like we need to start with, and that's Bronny James taking number 55 by the Los Angeles Lakers. And let me know, or here's my opinion. At first, I didn't really love it, and guess what? I still don't really love it. But it's the 55th pick in the draft, man. The likelihood that the number 55 pick becomes anything. And the way that the SWBA draft works is that oftentimes in the second round, guys start falling because they have some type of an agreement. So the more I sat on it, the more I realized I don't care about the number 55 pick going to Bronny James because you know what? He's just going to be a developmental prospect anyway. Rick, if you want to talk about Bronny James, feel free. But your largest, biggest, most interesting storyline from the second round.
I think it's Brian James. Well, Filipowski. But other than that, I would say
What
Bronny
part of
James.
Filipowski? What part of
What
Filipowski?
well, the fact that he lasted this long, I thought he was gonna go picked a little bit higher, a
Okay.
little bit sooner. Maybe like the back end of the first round is what I was thinking. But you know, it is what it is. But Bronny, let me just say this. In my opinion, this solidifies even more so LeBron James as the best basketball player in the world. The man wins championships for his team. The man coaches the teams, and the man now GMs the team and managed to get his son drafted to his team. As a father, there's nothing more you can do. He's done everything you can do as a father for his son. Put him in the best opportunity, the best situation down to get drafted, but to watch and learn up under his wing directly. The 55th pick, who cares? The fact that this man, LeBron James, has played chess over 20 years in the NBA to such a degree to not only can he win championships, not only can he hire and fire coaches, but damn it, he can get your son into the league if you choose to do so too. Oh, and let's not forget, once he hangs it up, he's going to be an owner of the Las Vegas expansion team. What more can he do? My man does it all. I'm looking at the big spectrum of things. The LeBron James era, the LeBron James saga, the man who he is one of a kind, for sure.
Well, the he's been GMing for a while, and it has not been exceptionally deep track record. So
Five
getting his
rings,
son on.
Marsh. Five
I didn't
rings.
say he was a bad basketball player. I said his GMing wasn't exceptional. Most recently, the decision. That's fine. He can have all the way. Hold on. It doesn't. First off, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to do quick math on a Friday morning. I'm trying to recollect how many. Is it five or is it four? It's four. It's two in
Is it four?
Miami. It's one in Cleveland, and it's one in Los Angeles. That's what my pause was. But regardless,
Oh,
enough Bronny because whatever he can be a champion or he can be on a roster. My favorite pick is Jamal Sheed going to the Toronto Raptors in the
mm-hmm.
trade that Davion Mitchell deal that also sends Mitchell to the Kings. I think this is the worst day, not the worst day. That's a big exaggeratory. We do that in the media. This is just a bad day to be a Sacramento King. From you chose Davion Mitchell over Tyrese Halliburton, and then you deal Davion Mitchell to the Raptors, and they
That's
get like
crazy.
Davion Mitchell Part 2. But I really like Jamal Sheed. I thought he was really good at SWU last season. I thought he was a great piece on that Houston Cougars team that really struggled early on. They rallied back and had a good close to the regular season to make basketball bedlam. I really like that pick. The Filipowski thing is interesting because there's a whole bunch of family stuff that apparently is going on that the family then like came out and supported about his the age difference between himself and his girlfriend, and it's
Uh
all yeah, it's very
oh.
weird. And he's going to Utah, and there's some Mormon stuff in there. I'm not
This
saying
is
there's
true.
anything
It's
wrong with
interesting.
Mormons.
It's true.
I'm just saying I don't know what the heck's going on, so
My
I got
my
nothing
favorite
else
pick
for you.
is Dillingham. The Dillingham trade to Minnesota, I think, is my favorite pick. I think Minnesota nailed it by getting Dillingham. It kind of reminds me of the Troy Hudson days for the old Minnesota team when he's come off the bench and giving boys 25, 30 points. Dillingham has that kind of scoring. He's not gonna give you nothing defensive end, but he has that kind of scoring prowess off the bench. So I love the Dillingham from Minnesota.
I'm very surprised by that one, and we'll move on here because we gotta I'm surprised about how little they gave up, like a 2030 and a 2030 to two first round picks, and one of them is a swap, so you don't really know to get top 10 pick. I just kind of would have assumed that this draft was not as great as others, but normally it takes a lot more to get a top 10 pick, and they give up a 30 and a 31 swap. I think that's a great deal for Minnesota. They don't have any more picks to
Absolutely.
give up, but I'm just fascinated more by the transaction than by the player and the teams, just the price to pay. Let's move on to the stars of tomorrow, which is tomorrow. This
Tomorrow.
weekend, the tip off for a fantastic weekend of SimWorld Prep. Rick, what are you looking for, or what are you most excited about here in the Stars of Tomorrow game?
I'm excited to see the guys compete. In a lot of all-star type events, especially in the SWBA, the games are trash because there's no competitive juices. But I think with the two coaches, as I alluded to on the pod earlier this week, with Coach Dodge and with Coach Drees, and with the players, I think there's going to be. I've been hollering at the players. I've been talking to them. There's some competitive juices in there. A couple of guys, Monte Parson for sure. He's talking that talk in the locker room, being the dog that he is in the locker room. Kai Killens is out. So I think what I'm seeing in the locker room, which is really cool, is the the alphas of alphas are standing out. There's some guys that lead by example. There's some guys that lead vocally as well, and you seeing those guys. And so I'm interested to see how all that meshes on the court. I think it's going to be a very good game, a very competitive game. And I think guys I just mentioned, Monte Parson and Kai Killens, I think they're going to have a hell of a game as well.
I'm really excited to see Jeff Towns and Cooper Flag. First time that we'll see those two on the floor since Cooper Flag did Cooper Flag things and Jeff Towns did the opposite of that. Now, I mean, look, there's going to be way too many good players on the floor for this to be whittled down to a Towns versus Flag. And look, Jeff Towns could go 20 for 20 and score 80 points, and Cooper Flag could go 0 of 10 and it wouldn't change the opinion of the two. I mean, Cooper Flag's still the better prospect right now, but I'm just fascinated by that, right? You're going to get two guys that are top of their class that have been compared to one another going at it. To your point about competitiveness, I think this is I hope to the Lord that this is not a whatever the equivalent of 236 total points is. I don't think it will be because we've just seen the dismissiveness, the diminishing of all-star games or all-star situations. Because you look, if you put this team out, any of these two teams, if you put those starting fives together or took the reserves and made it a starting five, you'd be talking about one of like the best, most dominant teams, obviously, because it's an all-star game. Yet we never get that. To your point, we never get to see good basketball. We see a training camp scrimmage that's just not worth the viewers or the audience's time. If we get it going, and granted, it's prep, it's not the end of the world. It's should be at least hopefully entertaining. But to me, it's the Towns, it's the Flag, and I think this is a big accomplishment for both Coach Dodge and Coach Drees Williams. I think both Alyssa Dodge and Drees Williams are well deserving of this. I think it speaks volumes to the development that each of them have shown. As much as we want to talk about the players on the floor, I think this is also a well-deserved reward for those two. I'd get on my soapbox and say Coach Kusa deserves a look, but I don't think that would be dismissive of Coach Dodge and Williams to say neither of them should be here for any reason. And I think that's a testament to all that they've accomplished here over the last 3 seasons, but particularly over the last season alone.
And shout out to the Founders region because that's where they're coming out the found. Both coaches come out the Founders region. You know what I mean? So shout out to the
Yeah,
Founder region for having a that great of a year as a division that both coaches were selected from that region.
and then of course, I mean, Coach Drayton, defending champion, Coach of the Year. I mean, it is that Founders region is no joke. Real quick, your picks for 3-point contest and dunk contest winners. Who you got?
Dunk contest. I gotta go with the dunk guard. I mean, I don't personally. I don't think Cooper Flag should even been in it, but that's a whole different conversation. 3-point contest. Let's go with the foreigner. International love. I'm going international love for 3-point contest.
I keep forgetting that Canada's technically foreign. Give me Cam Jones in the 3-point contest, and I'm with you on Kevon Jackson. I mean, look, I said this earlier. If he doesn't win the dunk contest, do we have to remove the moniker of Dunk God from his name? Because I think that's
No,
fair. It's on the line, Rick. I don't care what you say.
it's
It's on the line.
the
It's on the
title.
line.
The name is on the line. Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
This is like the BMF belt in SWFC. You know,
Okay,
it's on the line. Dunk God is on the line. All right,
done guys officially on the line.
let's head to foreigners that are not in the same continent where we have a coaching change over in Europe. Head coach KT Murphy taking over for Dmitry Kostov, who has moved on to be with Real Madrid. Murphy inheriting a team with a lot of talent. You've got Andrei Ivanov, you got Ivan Sutzlov returning to this team that made it to the semifinals of the run to one. You are losing just 4 players. None of them averaged more than 8 points. Only one of them averaged significant minutes. This is a young team getting a new head coach in Europe, Rick.
Hey, Europe has shown us over the last few seasons a couple of things. One thing in particular is they can stockpile talent. And they got the guys coming through their system that can play. So, congratulations to the coach. Congratulations to Kosovo, to everybody involved. I think that this team, this Europe team, every year they're a solid team. So I'm not worried. I think he's inheriting good talent, and he's probably going to get some more talent this offseason that's going to come play for him as well.
You'd hope so. It's a very deep market of European talent. I mean, Atlantis can try to compete with them ever so slightly, but I mean, that's kind of just like the fringe of Europe. Talking like Iceland, it's obviously not in Europe, but that type of market, obviously, Bjarni Johnson coming back. But anyway, yes, Europe, deep talent base. It's obviously there's a reason that the number 1 and number 2 picks were both from France because there's good basketball to be had
Yeah,
in Europe, and they're getting a fresh new head coach, which we look forward to and welcome into SimWorld Prep. All right, that's our show. We'll be back on Monday recapping a weekend full of action, headlined, of course, by all sorts of fun with the Stars of Tomorrow showcase, both the game and, of course, with the 3-point contest. Game is on Saturday, 1 p.m. on SimWorld TV. Rick, you'll be on that call. Elava will be
absolutely.
joining you on it. It will be a fantastic event. So tune into that on Saturday at 1. Appreciate y'all tuning in here. Rick, thank you for joining us. We'll be back on Monday on SimWorld TV, the only place you can see the game, be the game.
Guys.